All right, question 8. Let's put a comment here. Question 8, and it asks us to create a function or a subroutine to return the area of a trapezium. Okay, so how do we calculate the area of a trapezium? I don't know if you know that, but let's say we've got a trapezium here. What does a trapezium look like? Well, a trapezium looks something like this. Whoop, sorry. These lengths here are parallel. And let's say we've got this length here. So, oops. Let's say this is length 1. And this is length 2. Notice that they're parallel. And the distance between these we're going to call height. Okay, and if we've got this parallelogram, and by the way, it's also true for other shapes like a rhombus or a trapeze or a parallelogram. What are we trying to do? We're doing a trapezium. Okay, so this is a trapezium. It's also true for a rhombus and a parallelogram. The same formula, and the area of this thing is half of the sum of the parallel sides multiplied by this distance between them, this perpendicular distance. In other words, there needs to be right angles here. So, and we're calling that the height. Half of the sum of this side and this side multiplied by the distance that's between them, basically. So let's try and remember that. So we'll go to our programming environment. So we're going to remember that the area of a trapezium is half times the sum of the parallel sides times the height, or the distance between them. We'll call that the height. Okay, so def trapezium area. And what do we need? Well, so if I said to you, what's the area of a trapezium? You'd say, it depends on the lengths of the parallel sides, sir, and how far apart they are. And they become the parameters to the function. So let's do parallel side 1, parallel side 2, and the distance between them, we're calling the height. Or if I can spell, H-E-I-G-H-T, colon. And we're going to return half times the sum of the parallel sides. Well, that's parallel side 1 plus parallel side 2. And we're going to multiply that by this height. So let's see if we can test that. So print trapezium area of, let's say one's got a length of 4, 5, and a distance between them is 2. And let's see how that gets. In other words, in our diagram here, this length here is 5. This length here was 4, and this height here was 2. So what would the area be here? So area is half of 4 plus 5 times by 2. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 over 2 is 4.5. 4.5 times 2 is 9. So we're expecting 9 as our answer. Let's see what we get. 9.0, correct. And notice again, it is a floating point value, our solution, because we're multiplying by half, and that's a float. And therefore, a float times something is a float, and that's why we get a floating point value for our answer.